So I was walking home one day from a friend's house. I was about 16 years old when I saw the gypsy. So as I'm walking, I notice across from me is this bridge, and I see this young girl that's about maybe 4 or 5 years older than me. She might have been around 20, and she's wearing multiple layers of skirts, all different colors. She had dark hair that was long, and she had bracelets on both her hands, and she is crying, just crying. So at first I'm not quite sure what I should do, and I figured, well, I don't want to be in her business, so I am just about ready to pass her way, even though she's across from me, and she starts wailing and wailing. And so I back up, and there's this building. It's kind of like a little old shack, a rickety little thing, and I tuck myself back behind it, and I look at her, and she knows I'm there. And she's just crying and sobbing, and on occasion she would get on her knees, and then she would stand up again, and she would raise her arms up into the skies. And after a time, she seemed to settle down, and I thought, well, I can go now. So I attempted to walk away, and all of a sudden she started wailing again, just wailing. So I knew at that point that she didn't want me to go. So I walked back and stood by the shack and still kind of peeked at her, and she knew I was there. And she continued to speak in some unknown language that I did not understand. And she would just continually cry and cry and cry. And then it appeared she was in prayer in some language, like I said, I did not understand. And she held this vessel, and she raised it up to the sky above her head and said stuff that I didn't know what she was saying, but I understood it was a prayer of some sort. And then she emptied it, and it was water, and she emptied it upon the grass. And she looked at me. And at that moment, I thought to myself, she's right by the creek that I've always played in. And she's looking at me, and I'm looking at her. And all of a sudden I realized she was crying because she saw the futures of her water. And I knew, she knew, I knew, she knew what she was saying. And at that exact moment, when I actually understood what she was talking about in some language I did not understand, she stretched out her hand, her arm towards me. She was sobbing, but she was no longer wailing, knowing now that I understood what she had been speaking and praying about. And then I knew I could walk away. And I walked away, and I wouldn't forget it. I kept saying, she sees the futures of our water. She sees the futures of our water. Anyways, this is my story. It's a true story. I just have never forgotten her. And I would like you to know her.